Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I'm here today with my recap for 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 6, Episode 5, High Infidelity. Let me tell you, in my opinion, production was really hard at work during this episode. So let's get right into this. So we start off with Corona and Inky Winky. So Corona has landed in Iceland. She is so excited to start her new life with the love of her life. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I hear her say the love of my life and soft partnering one more time, I'm going to poke my eyes out with a fucking rusty fork. Okay? So, anyway, she's landed in Iceland. She's clutching her stuffed penguin. She is so happy and she goes to the doors and Inky is standing there waiting with a bouquet of flowers because he saw on American movies that women like flowers. So he got her a bouquet of flowers and he's standing there waiting for her, clutching the bouquet. She comes through the doors and he's like, "Hey, you," like he would greet a friend. Okay. And Corona is kind of like, "What the fuck?" He gives her a little peck on the lips, hugs her like, he would hug a friend that he hasn't seen in a long time. But honestly, I get why Corona was mad because to me, it seemed like he was just like, "Oh, she's here." Okay. He was just like, he didn't seem very excited. So when they leave the airport, okay, guys, um, Corona walks out in Iceland, okay, and she's like, "Wow, it's cold." "Really, girl? You don't say." Okay. So they get in the car and it's 9:30 a.m. and the sun is just beginning to rise. And Corona's like, "Oh, I'm so excited. I need some snow driving lessons because I'm not really good driving in the snow. I just can't wait to start my life with you." And she's just like really excited and happy. Well, I would say when your dude has this expression on his face, it's not a good thing. Okay. I mean, this was basically his expression in the airport, in the car. I mean, the guy looked like he was questioning, "What the fuck am I doing?" Okay, which is not good considering that Corona allegedly quit quit her job, gave up everything, gave up a very prestigious midwife program, okay, to move across the world to be with this dude, okay, who doesn't look very happy to see her. So Corona did a interview with Access Hollywood, okay, and she was just talking about how disappointed she was in his reaction and how her family thought she was crazy and the friendships that she's made in the 90-day universe. And that is all great and fine, but in my honest opinion, and based on something else that I've read, which I'll get to in a minute, I think this is all bullshit. Okay? I'm just going to put it out there. This is all bullshit. So Corona and Inky got to his apartment, and guess what? He hasn't cleared out his closet for her. Okay? She was just there 2 months ago, and she had this discussion with him that he needed to clear out one side of the closet for her, and he couldn't be bothered. Okay. So she's like, "What am I going to do? Where am I going to put all my shoes? I have my princess vampire boots." And she's, unpacking everything. And I'm like, "Girl, did you bring anything but shoes? Like, did you bring clothes?" Because it seemed like all the suitcases just had her shoes. Okay. And don't get me wrong, some of her shoes are really funky and I love them. But girl, you need more than shoes to survive in Iceland. Just saying. Okay. So you could tell that he is overwhelmed as fuck. The look on his face, he's just like, to me, he's questioning whether or not he made the right decision by doing this. Okay. I think the minute Corona was in his space, he said, "Oh, I don't know if I want to do this," because his facial expressions tell it all. Okay. Corona's bouncing up and down on his bed. And like my husband said, why isn't he jumping on her in the bed? Okay. They haven't seen each other in how many months, and she's bouncing up and down on the bed, and he's just standing there with this awkward expression on his face. Now, Inky gave his own interview to a newspaper in Iceland, okay? And I sat there and I painstakingly Google translated the whole article, okay? Now, I reported on this a couple of weeks ago, but in light of what we're seeing on TV, I just want to bring it up again. So it says Inky Hilmar Thorensen went as far out of his comfort zone as he could think of when he decided to take a shot at becoming part of a huge American reality series together with his girlfriend Corona. At that time, they had known each other for a year and lived most of the time separately. But the show in question is called 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way and follows American individuals who fall in love with foreigners and move to their home country. Corona therefore moved to Iceland, and a huge American film crew followed the couple's daily life. Everyone was trying to get something out of me and the people around me. I think it's just in the Icelandic DNA not to share much except with those closest to you. I also don't mind any stereotypes and hate criticizing people. They were trying to get a hold of me so many times and asked, for example, now Corona dresses a bit strangely. What do you think about it? I just said, I'm fine. If she's happy, I'm happy, which may not have been the answer they wanted. Had to dig deep into old improv tips. Inky Hilmar sometimes had to put his acting skills to the test. Of course, I had to give them something, and Corona and I were on a team together. Sometimes I had to dig deep into an old improv class in order to try to exaggerate some feeling, says Inky Hilmar with a hearty laugh. But it was a real adventure and a lot of fun. Of course, these were long days and a lot of fun, but most of all, it stands out that it was fun. Inky, Hilmar, and Corona met there at the end of the year at Kiffa Bar. I had I then had an affair party and invited her along, and we get along very well. We then go on a double date with her friend and a girl she was seeing, and after she goes back out, we are constantly chatting on Instagram. She then asked me to meet in Dublin last fall, which I did, and after that, she will visit Iceland in December. Spoiler alert, the relationship did not work out. Despite not having known each other for long, Inky and Corona managed to spend 2 months together here in Iceland before the film crew arrived. However, the relationship did not work out. The shooting took its toll, but we were still good after it. Since then, we have actually broken up today. It just didn't work out. She lives in the United States and is studying midwifery at a very nice Ivy League university. Of course, all breakups are difficult and sad, but it's been a while and this is the right decision. So, did she give up her spot at the midwifery program at UPenn? The show will premiere in the United States on July 1st, and Inky Hilmar says he's not too worried about this. I think I have little to be ashamed of. Of course, this is always going to be a very memorable life experience. I just feel crazy that I took part in this, and it was a lot of fun to take part. I am extra excited to see this. This is as far as my comfort zone as possible, but that's also what's fun about life. You just have to be able to throw yourself into the deep end. Inky Hilmar also says he is excited to see how production has cut this. The only time I've ever been on TV before was when my friend and I came home from Austria with COVID. We had just been on the best vacation of my life and we were fine with it, but it was still edited like we were being incredibly dramatic. So it's clearly possible to cut everything, says Inky Hilmar with a laugh. Ask how he plans to watch this. He says, that's exactly the point. When we were still together, I had thought of renting a hall at Bio Paradise, inviting friends and family, and laughing about it together. But then there are also 24 episodes in one season, so I don't know how I'm going to play this. I still think I will stick to renting a hall and inviting good people, and there is a good atmosphere at Bio Paradise and a great atmosphere. A reporter then asked Inky if he sees this as a start of a great career in reality television. Yes, I just started applying to Survivor. I'm going to take over the American reality show market. He jokes at the end. Now, Corona could say that she's been soft partnering him and treating him with kid gloves and whatever she wants to say. But she was enraged at this, okay? And she showed her rage. I reported on this a couple of weeks ago. Just wanted to show you guys again, okay? Thank you to the Instagram account, the Reality TV Mess, for capturing this. And let me just share my screen with you guys. Yeah, Corona was really, 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 really mad. Now, Corona, on the other hand, girl, Corona Rage. Okay, I'm just going to share this with you guys. This is from the Reality TV Mess Instagram account. If you don't follow them, you should. I'm just going to share this.
I have regrettably been entirely too nice and held my composure entirely too much. And I'm fucking done with it. Apparently, contracts don't mean shit. Apparently, you don't need to take accountability for your actions. Apparently, we can just say whatever the fuck we want to say. So let the games begin. I have never in my life known more of a punk ass fucking bitch. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And to think, you said you're gonna, quote, take over the American reality TV market. You just wait till America finds out what a little bitch you are. You're not gonna take over shit. You guys, I have regrettably
Yeah.
been in.
So, as you guys can see, Corona is not happy at all. Okay. And I don't think she liked the article very much. Just a feeling that I have. Okay. So we're going to see how this turns out. Okay. Next week, we'll see what happens with them. But Inky kind of dropped the spoiler. Anyway, moving on to Shakina and Sarper. So, Shakina's been there for a couple of days. Her and Sarper go out to this restaurant to meet his sister. Shakina gets along with Sarper's sister. She's a straight shooter like her, doesn't sugarcoat anything. So she asks Shakina, "Are you happy to be back?" Shakina's like, "Yes." And then Sarper starts with his, "It's been 107 days, 2,568 hours, 106,476 minutes, 1,800,000. I mean, you guys get my point. So he has counted the days, the months, the hours, the minutes that Shekinah's been gone. Shekinah asks his sister, has he always been like this? And she's like, he was really bad in his teenage years, but he's managed to suppress it and deal with it. But lately, when you were gone, his anxiety was really bad. So, it came back. So Sarper starts talking about when he was a teenager. He used to be bullied, made fun of left and right. The flashback pictures, guys, the flashback pictures, okay? Sarper was an overweight teenager, okay? He was made fun of, he was bullied, and at 15 years old, his first girlfriend broke his heart. And his father told him, okay, that he couldn't trust any woman. And Shekinah thinks that this early experience is what has shaped him. And that's why he is community property. And he slept with 2,500 women. I mean, a heartbreak at 15, that makes total sense, doesn't it? Anyway, so Shekinah tells Sarper and his sister that some of his exes has been sliding into her DMs, wanting to talk to her. And there's, one in particular that she may or may not be interested in talking to. And both Sarper and his sister both jump up immediately and they're like, the only reason why they're contacting you is because they're jealous and they want to ruin you guys' perfect relationship. Why would you want to do that? And it kind of bothers Shekinah, she says, because it's like they're discounting the feelings of the woman in Sarper's past, So it just kind of bothers Shekinah a little bit. And then let me tell you what really bothers Shekinah. Okay, the belly dancer in the restaurant. The belly dancer comes over. She starts shaking her boobs in Sarper's face and doing the whole dance. And Shekinah is sitting there like, excuse me, the respect. Like I'm sitting right here. And Sarper, he's putting dollars in the boobs going, but this is traditional. I have to show her respect. She came to dance for me. So I have no choice but to stick money in her boobs. Okay. So it's the next day, and Shekinah's getting ready to go meet with Noor, the ex, whether Sarper likes it or not. Okay, she's gonna go meet her. There's nothing Sarper could do to stop her. Okay, Sarper's like, why do you want to do this? Don't you know that all Turkish women exaggerate and lie? I was like, whoa, what the fuck, Sarper? I mean, come on. This guy is like any last ditch effort to prevent Shekinah from going to meet with Noor. He is throwing everything to the wall, hoping something would stick. But no, no. Shekinah is strong and independent, and nothing Sarper could do, short of locking her in a closet, is going to prevent her from going to meet this woman. So she goes to meet Noor. Google Translate comes in very handy. And basically, Noor tells Shekinah that they were in a relationship for about 3 to 4 months. Okay. They would see each other 3 to 4 times a week. She would be on the phone texting him every day. She would wake up from with messages from him, and he told her that he loved her. And she kind of said, what? Hold up, wait a minute, what? He said, what? And Noor was like, yes. He told me he loved me. He told me he had feelings for me. And then suddenly one day, he ghosted me. He disappeared. It's like, what the fuck? One minute you love me, you're calling me your lover, and then the next minute you ghost me. So, Shekinah, I just want to let you know, using Google Translate, that, this guy may not be the one. Okay? Meanwhile, Shekinah is like, I'm not upset that he told someone that he loved them before. I mean, he's a 40-something-year-old man. But the fact that he lied to me and told me that I was the only woman that he said I loved you too. That's pissing me the fuck off. I'm like, girl, please. You know that he's just probably going to feed you some bullshit and you guys are going to be just fine because he has to design your nose. Did you forget you're getting a nose job and he's designing it for you? Okay, so you can't fight with him because you don't want him to fuck up your face any more than he's probably going to fuck it up. So if I was Shekinah and I had this nose job surgery already scheduled and Sarper's planning out my nose, I would pick the fight after my surgery. Just saying. So now we move on to James and Tata. Okay. James is taking two planes, a train, a car, a bus, a, um, a steamroller, a fucking spaceship. I mean, you name it, he's taking it to get to Tata in Indonesia. Okay. Now, Tata is making banana chips with her parents. Her parents still don't know that she's there to stay. They think that she's there on a visit. While she's making banana chips for her parents, she decides to break the news. Guess what? James is on his way. He's coming for a visit. Still doesn't break the news that they're there for good. Okay? So her father brings up the fact that, she needs to have kids, that James promised that he would give him grandchildren. Then Tata's mother starts crying, okay, because she really misses Tata. And, when she cried, I was like, oh, I felt so bad for her. She was telling Tata, you have to make sure that you have children, or otherwise, when you're old like me, you're going to be alone. Look, I have 6 children and I'm still here. I want someone to take care of me, but no, I'm still here making these banana chips. And it was really an emotional scene, but they were crying over the banana chips. Okay. Tata was wiping her tears. She had rubber gloves on, but she was wiping her tears. She didn't take off the gloves to wipe her tears. Her mother was doing the same with the rubber gloves on, and then they were touching the banana chips. I was just like, okay. So now James is on the last leg of his trip. Okay, he just has the train to catch, and he decides that he's going to shave real quick in the bathroom because he looks like a fucking beast after traveling for like 7 days or whatever. So he's in the bathroom and he's shaving, and my husband, who is paying half attention to the show, says, why is he shaving upwards? He's going to cut himself. He needs to shave downwards. And you know what? He's absolutely right, because once James and Tata were reunited, one of the first things he said was, look, I shaved for you and I cut my face up for you. Okay? No, you should have known. You shaved downward, not upward. And even if it was a cheap 20-cent razor, okay, it would have worked a lot better shaving downward. Just saying. So Tata gets a ride from her sister to go to the train station to pick him up. She's on the back of her sister's, little motorbike. She's so nervous. It's like the first time that they're going to see each other again. He gets off the train. She jumps into his arms. They're reunited. They're happy. Monkey, I'm so happy you're back. I miss you more. And now they're going to go see her parents and finally break the news to her parents that guess what? They're there to stay. And guess where they're going to be living? In her parents' home. Oh, yeah, this is going to go over real fucking well. But Tata, she's really worried about one thing when it comes to James, that he's going to be homesick. The language is way different. The food is way different. It's spicy. It's going to give him diarrhea. The culture is way different. And one thing that I saw online today, and I double checked and did a little research, minimum wage is way different. Okay. I don't know how much he was making as an elevator mechanic for his family's company in Maine. But if he gets a minimum wage job in Indonesia, which is probably what he's going to wind up getting, he will be making the equivalent of $1.67 an hour. I wonder if Tata broke this news to him. Okay, I don't know. So they're going to go off to her parents' house, break the news, and let's see how this shit show turns out next week. So now we're on to Lily and Josh. I don't know. This is this. I don't know what to think about this couple. So Lily, who says over and over and over that she's broke, she's bankrupt, she spent all her money on the house, takes her and Josh to get massages. Okay? Lily gets a head massage, which I am totally down for because I've had such a horrible sinus headache for the past couple of days, and this side of my head is throbbing. I'm totally down for a head massage. But this whole ear massage that Josh got, I don't know. It gave me the heebie jeebies. I mean, let me know what you guys thought of it. But I was surprised that he was able to tolerate it because of his condition, with the sounds, really triggering things for him. Like he can't hear, slurping and things like that because he'll really get triggered by it. So I was surprised that he was able to tolerate this. Um, the masseuse was like ringing a bell next to his ear, put a feather. It was like tapping. He used a huge Q-tip to clean his ear out, and I got the pleasure of seeing his ear gunk. Okay, I was like, why do they have to show us his ear gunk? My husband was totally into it. He was like, oh, that's cool. I mean, but he's the type that watches Pimple Popper, Dr. Pimple Popper. So we got to see Josh get his ears cleaned. Okay, and then Lily just wants to clarify things with her husband, okay? Because don't get me wrong, she loves him very much. And to her, love is spending money. Like you can't help it. When you love someone, you just spend money on them. And thanks to Google Translate, we get to have another serious conversation where he just tries to tell her, listen, I don't care if we're homeless living on the street. As long as I have you, that's all that matters. This wedding, I thought you wanted it for your family. And she's like, no, darling, I'm doing the wedding because you wanted a Chinese wedding. And Josh is just trying to tell her that he has no money. He's really tight with money. He feels bad about not being able to contribute, provide, and it's not necessary for her to spend all her money because she worked so hard for it. And, you know, Lily's just like, I love you, honey. I want to do everything for you. So now Josh's question is, how many minutes do we have alone in this room? You think that we could squeeze in a little before we have to leave? And that's how their scene ended. But my question is, I thought Lily was the owner of a spa. They don't give massages at her spa. She couldn't get a free massage. I mean, or was this her spa? I don't know. I'm confused. But Lily complains, I mean, we're on the fifth episode, and if she says I'm broke and bankrupt one more time, I'm going to poke my eyes out with a rusty fork. Just saying. So that's basically all for this week of The Other Way. And so far, it's okay. I could see some producer driven storylines and some producer driven bullshit. Um, I wonder how much Nor got paid to show up. Just saying. So it's okay so far. That's all I can say. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think about The Other Way so far. Thank you so much for joining me. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm about 100 subscribers short of 10K. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Hit that like button, share my video with a friend or 10, and please consider joining my membership. Thank you so much and see you next week. Bye, everyone.